Hi guys, welcome back. This is day 3 of the 3-day Stepping into Your Authentic Well-Being Challenge. Today is the last day. I can't believe how fast this week has gone. I hope that you guys have learned a lot and that this has been helpful. I truly love seeing people find their wellness, and so this has been such a fun challenge. I would love to hear what you guys have learned, so make sure you put that in the comments. If you have missed the past couple days, I'm Ashley. I'm a mental wellness coach and a mental health therapist. I love helping women find wellness and learn to love their body. Mind, mentally, physically, emotionally, all the things. So, if you missed the past couple days, make sure you go back and watch those. They are pinned right now on my page, but I want to kind of give a recap because the 3 days obviously tied together. So day 1, we talked about myths of self-care. And we talked about how a lot of people think that self-care is massages and pedicures, that it takes a lot of time, that it costs money. It doesn't have to do any of those things. A lot of people think that it means neglecting others when it really means taking care of others. And a lot of people also say that they just don't know how to take care of themselves. And we talked about how you really do know how to take care of yourself. So if you missed that one, go check it out. Day 2, we talked about nutrition because this is one of the huge keys to wellness. One of those reasons we talked about is the gut-brain connection. So 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So fueling your body with foods, fueling your gut with foods, just makes you well, makes you feel good, right? And also eating plants, which are, I was really confused when I first heard that term. So that just means like veggies, fruits, whole grains, anything that grows in the ground, that's a plant. And it fuels our body. We talked about decreasing sugar and nutritional impacts on mental health. And then the biggest thing we talked about is balance. That if you don't learn anything else this week, take that it's all about balance. You're never going to be perfect. You just have to have a balance of healthy in your life. So, with that being said, today I am going to give you just some tips for your wellness journey that are very realistic and that are going to help you stay on this journey. But reminder that this is your journey. You have to find what works for you. So these are some tips to help you get to where you want to go, but you kind of have to find what to do to get there. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But here's tip number 1. I've talked about this, I think, all 3 days this week. Start small. Habits take time to develop, and when we overwhelm ourselves, we won't continue the habits that we want to grow. So when we want to grow wellness habits, like nutrition, exercise, personal development, gratitude, whatever it is, start with one thing. Because otherwise, when you take on a lot of things at once, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to quit. Which I almost did when I started my wellness journey. So take like exercise, for example. When I started exercising, I started going to the gym a couple days a week. And eventually I started at home workouts and I switched. But over time, I was able to add more throughout the week because I started with those 2 days. So, I added 3 a week and then 4 a week. And now I'm consistently working out 5 days a week. So if I would have started with 5 or 6 workouts a week, I wouldn't have been happy and I wouldn't have stuck with it. I honestly probably would have dreaded it. But instead, I began enjoying it because I started small. And from there, I wanted to exercise more because I felt how good I felt in my body. So the more you do things that make you feel good, the more you'll want to do them. But if you overwhelm yourself, you won't want to do them. Number 2, listen to your body. So in order to feel good in your body, you have to listen to your body. And this can be really difficult at first. Not a lot of people know how to listen to their body because we're kind of taught not how to listen to our body. We are bombarded with all of these things like diets and cultural beliefs, and some are good, some work, but they won't work unless it's for you. And filtering these can be difficult, and that's where listening to your body comes in. It will tell you what it needs. When I started my journey, I was completely unaware of my body. But as I started moving my body and fueling my body, like we talked about yesterday, I really started feeling good. And this is key to healing body image issues. Sometimes, though, it is hard to hear what your body is saying. Sometimes healing is really hard, and sometimes we don't want to hear it. But in order to heal, whether it's body image or habits, we have to listen to our body and work through them and create new habits. Number 3, take action. Nothing will happen if you don't take action. You won't get the results that you want, and you won't feel good in your body unless you take action. So you have to be intentional. When I decided I wanted to feel better in my body, when I didn't want to be stuck anymore, I started with physical action. But eventually I moved to mental and emotional action. And I learned that I wasn't just healing my body. I was healing my mind and my emotions too. So I added actions that healed my mind and my emotions as much as my body. So it's all about taking action, whether it is physical, mental, or emotional. It's all about taking action. And you won't get anywhere if you don't get uncomfortable. I can promise you that if you want to make changes, you will get uncomfortable, and that's part of making change. So just expect to be uncomfortable to get where you want to go. Number 4, be consistent. You'll not feel the effects of change if you aren't consistent. Taking care of yourself is not a one-time thing. It's a lifelong journey. And it took me a long time to learn this. When I started my wellness journey, I was not consistent. It actually probably took me a couple years to get a consistent routine down of what made my body feel good and what I needed to continue doing, what I needed to not do. Once I got consistent is when I really started to feel good in my body. So again, no changes will come without consistency. All right, last one. Number 5, find support. Support is how I got started on this journey. Support is everything. I found a group of women who supported and encouraged each other on their wellness journey and still encourage me. This is when I really started to be consistent because I had a group of women encouraging me in these habits and encouraging me just in life. So find a group or a coach to help you on your wellness journey. It will make a huge difference. And that is actually why I decided to open up 3 coaching spots. I only have 3 new spaces this month but I want to create room for women to grow in their wellness and to heal their body image. So that's why I decided to open up 3 new spots. These would include weekly sessions for 1 to 3 months, depending on what you need. Weekly check-ins, setting goals, finding the habits to get you where you want to go, and supporting and encouraging you along the way. So if that's something you're interested in, I will post a link in my bio. There's a link to coaching interest form, I think is what I called it. So if you're interested in some extra support in your self-love and journey to loving your body, I would love to support you in that. And I love seeing women thrive and come to love themselves. So, homework for today. You guys know I love giving homework at the end of every training. So, your last homework is to make a plan. And this is something else that I do in my coaching sessions. I do this with clients because it's so important to have a plan. If you don't know how to increase the good feelings that you have for your body, you won't get there. So make a plan. What's one habit you can start this week? What's a habit you can start in a month after you're consistent with that one habit? How are you going to stay consistent? How are you going to stay committed? Think of these things and make a plan. Schedule them out. That has been one of the most helpful things for me because I don't have the time, but I make the time for my habits. So make sure you have a plan and stick to it. Obviously, things happen. We're not perfect. Like I said, we gotta be flexible. You're never gonna be perfect in this journey, but it's all about consistency. That's the main thing. If you miss one day, but are consistent throughout the week, it's not gonna hurt you. You're still gonna reach your goal at the end. So, if you guys have any questions about today or about coaching, my coaching program, I will post some slides in my story, so make sure you check that out. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to comment or message me directly, and I would love to chat with you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining me in this challenge.